Afternoon. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our pre-match press conference. We'll start off with Vinny from Sky.
David, first of all, can we check team news? Did Michael Keane train? Is he okay for the weekend?
I'm not sure yet if he's going to be right. He's got a little bit of an injury. He played against Newcastle with injury. And look, he just couldn't quite make it. So I'm not sure yet if he's going to make it or not. No.
What about Seamus? How far away is he?
Seamus pulled his hamstring, so Seamus is going to be out for a little while. I don't know exactly the time scale on it, but obviously he's just had a nick in his hamstring, which is going to keep him out.
Obviously not great news for you then, given that Tim's suspended this weekend as well.
No, we're short. We're really short on. We've been short. We were very short going to Bournemouth, and we were certainly we're the same going into this game as well. But look, it happens to all the teams. It's not just us.
Just on Tim, it seemed to be at least a good response, in terms of his personal performance against Bournemouth. Is the next step for him really just to start delivering that consistency more and more? Yeah,
I think so. I'm pleased for Tim because he played really well for us, and he got better as the game went on as well, and was really important. He's been up and down a little bit in and out of the team, but someone who we like, we really do. We think there's a player in there somewhere, and maybe the more games he gets, the more he'll keep adapting and getting used to it. But disappointed that we lost him. I was annoyed actually him getting booked early in the game. I was more concerned about how would he see himself through the Bournemouth game, but he managed himself very well through the game and helped us get a good victory.
Someone who probably is showing the levels of consistency is Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. I just wonder what your thoughts are on the fact that he has been nominated as one of the players of the month.
Yeah. Well, it's very difficult to get nominated in the Premier League as a player of the month because of the quality of the players, and you're seeing the level some of the teams are playing at. So all credit to Kiernan. He's getting us a couple of goals. He's been playing well for us. He had to play slightly deeper for us in midweek in what he's been able to do. So, we're pleased. He's been good, and he's good in the dressing room, and he's good with the players. So we're really happy to have him.
Obviously, this weekend you welcome your predecessor to Hill Dickinson in Sean Dyche, as well as the job that he's doing at Nottingham Forest. I just wonder as well what your thoughts are on the job that he did here through difficult times, and obviously left you something to be able to build on.
Well, there'll be lots of people able to tell me more about Everton over the last 4 or 5 years than myself. But from afar, it looked as if he steered the ship, which was in big trouble, was sinking, and he'd done a great job in making sure that they were still in the Premier League. I think there was a couple of seasons he probably had to avoid it just about on the last day of the season. But I think he'd done a brilliant job in what the situation was, and when you look back, I hope that we never have to go back to where Sean had the team and had the situation around the club. But I thought he'd done a brilliant job in keeping them going. And at that time, there's always a lot of negativity, a lot from the media. The supporters are feeling it, everybody's feeling it. So when you're the manager, you sort of carry that through. And I thought he'd done a really good job.
I think you probably expected him to go in and make a difference in Nottingham Forest as well when he got the job.
Well, I knew that he would certainly go back in. I didn't know where he would go back in, and he's Nottingham Forest are a good team. They're a team in Europe as well, so he's got good players.
How have you built on what Sean left behind, though? And I know you're at home this weekend, but I was looking at the away form, and only Arsenal have taken more points on the road since your first away game back in charge here.
Well, look, I have to give credit to the players for how they've done it, because when I came in, the home form wasn't that good, to be honest. I think prior to that, we were pretty poor. So the players have knuckled down and done a great job in getting the results recently. So, we're pleased with our away form. We want to keep that up. And a lot of people were saying when I came in, the away supporters have not had much to shout about. I think we were winning at Palace last year, and we were winning at Brighton, and we won at Newcastle. So there's a lot of games which we did win away from home last year, which hopefully helped away supporters enjoy their trip a bit better.
10th, 3 points off the top four. Can you put yourselves in the bracket of European contenders, or is it tempered slightly because, as you say, you're short of players at the moment? You're going to lose Idrissa and Iliman Ndiaye to AFCON, and do you have to kind of wait as well almost to see what you can do in January?
Well, look, I don't want to turn around here and say, no, we don't think to do that. And my plan is to try and do that. I know that if we can get another win against Nottingham Forest, then we'll push ourselves right in amongst it again. I think you have to take your chances in the Premier League when you get it at the moment, because I think that if you miss out on it, then you might have to wait again. We've had a pretty good 3 or 4 games recently, and I hope we can keep it going. But as I said, the Premier League, the way it is, you just don't know where the results are coming from. But no, the ideal situation was I would be coming on here and saying, no, we want to be a team challenging for Europe. But in the same breath, we're all looking over our shoulder, because we've still got to get a bit more distance between the bottom of the league and the ones at the bottom at the moment.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, Vinny. We'll go to Simon at Premier League Productions.
I know you touched upon it there, but what have you made of the job that Sean's done at Nottingham Forest and how they're now doing this season?
I think Sean's done a great job since he's come in, but not surprisingly. And let's be fair, I think Nottingham Forest have got a good team. They've got good players, good squad. So they've got a lot, and Sean will be enjoying Europe as well in some ways. In other ways, he'll be seeing the extra games and all the extra work which comes from it. But he's doing very well, and he looks as if he's settling in, and the crowd have taken to him as well, which is good.
I know you've talked about the table there. Not all managers will do that. They'll say, "I'm going to look at it later on." Are you someone who is constantly looking at where you can get the points and where you need them? Or
I'm not constantly looking at it, but I think obviously we're always saying, hey, make sure that we're away from the bottom end of the table. We've here at Everton, we've been in that situation too often, so we want to talk about the top end of the league as much as we can, and that's why every win at the moment is really important. I think we've probably won more points than we've had at any other stage with time. I think the points we've got at the moment is more than we've ever had for the last 4 or 5 years. So it shows that we've started the season relatively well. So I think there's still room for improvement. We've talked a wee bit about we've got injuries. We're still adding, we're still growing. So I think we've got off to a pretty good start, really.
And just finally for me, apologies if it's slightly left field, but just reading there on the BBC's website about England starting to use AI for things like penalty shootouts. Obviously, that would include Jordan as well. So they're getting extra information, whereas previously it might have taken 4 or 5 days for the goalkeeping staff to get all this information. Now you can get it at your fingertips almost. Is that something that you either do use or you'd contemplate on using or your staff use?
Well, we certainly don't use it at the moment, that's for sure. But it's something which now you're mentioning, then I'm going to have to look into after I leave here today. It might be able to tell me what players are fit for me and what I've got to use. But overall, look, I think if there's another tool that can come in, can help improve the team and the way football's going at the moment, I don't think people are going to hide behind. I think people will use which is available to them. So we'll wait and see, but it's interesting, isn't it?
Well, you've always been a forward thinker since you've become a manager. You've always been interested in things like that, I think. Yeah,
it is. I mean, I'm worried at where it's going, how far it's going to go. I'm one of the longer serving ones now and seeing quite a few different eras coming through, but if this is where we're going to now, it'll make it even harder. But obviously, I don't know what the AI is going to tell me about penalties. It's going to tell me that somebody puts it to the right-hand side or they put it to the left-hand side. So on the day, you could change your mind, you could do that. So I don't know what AI can really tell me more than probably me watching somebody taking 20 or 30 penalties, what they're going to do. So I don't know if it completely works, but maybe someone knows more than I do. Sure they do.
Yes. Thanks, Simon. We'll go to Julia at Radio Merseyside.
Hey, David.
Hi, Julia.
Jack Grealish was very complimentary of you after the game midweek, and he said the conversations he has with you have really helped him. So I just wondered, what is it you have spoken about with him that has made him feel definitely comfortable here and also raise his game?
I don't think I've really done an awful lot with Jack, to be honest. But I think the most important thing is we've tried to give him a bit of love and made him feel really welcome. I think the crowd here have done a brilliant job with him. They've taken to him, and quite often when you come from another Premier League team, it's not that easy to settle in. But he's been taken right away, and I think he's played well as to add to that as well. He scored a few goals and a few assists. He can pick it up a bit more, no doubt about that. So I've got no problem telling Jack straight and telling him correctly. I don't need to tell him any lies or tell him any bullshit. I can always just sort of tell him it, and he's big enough and he's man enough to accept it, whether it's good or bad.
Do you think he appreciates that honesty then? And do all players appreciate that honesty? Or is it sort of individual basis? You have to take each player as a different person and a different way of managing them?
I think you do have to manage players all differently. I don't think there's one way. I think all players, or most players, would always want to be, spoken to straightforward. But, always speaking straightforward to means that, you could become disliked because, sometimes the truth is something which not everybody wants to hear. But Jack's not. Jack wants the truth. Jack wants to be sort of pushed and told and look, he's responding to it. The biggest thing for me is getting through the games. He's playing 90 minutes in the games, and he's not played that many, and we've never really any time had a thought of saying no, we're going to leave him out or we're going to take him out because he needs a rest. Now, we've not got as many games as other sides have got. For example, Forest, who've got European games. So we've not really had that need. We've only had the Premier League midweek fixtures. But in the main, Jack's been really good and made himself available, fit, healthy, not missing training. So we're pleased with him.
I wanted to ask you as well, Jake O'Brien, I thought he had a really good game at Bournemouth. He's been patient waiting for his chance at centre-back. He's played at right-back, as we know. Sometimes he's come off the bench to play. I know that's where he sees himself. So has he done a little bit more now to show that he's going in that right direction to be the centre-back here at Everton?
Well, he played really well, I think, at Fulham in Newcastle at the end of last season. We won both games. He was centre-back in those games when Jared and Tarky were both out. He had a couple of games at centre-back during the summer in pre-season. We thought he'd done a really good job as a right-back last year. Maybe not as much as we'd like this year, that's for sure. But yeah, he is a centre-back. He's playing out of position. But, he can play right-back, or then he's got to try and move the likes of Jake, Tarky and Jared and Keno out. And, they've done really well for us, so he's got a bit to do. But he played really well the other night. He's obviously a centre-half and he's not a right-back. We're well aware of that. But while we're very short of right-backs, he might be the best choice we've got in the building.
And while you are light and in numbers, and AFCON is round the corner as well, and the under-21s, I just wondered, how do you get any time to sort of keep tabs as what's going on there? And are there any pushing to be further in and around? I know Braden Graham is a name that keeps being mooted in the fan base.
I've not seen as much as what I would have seen in the past. Partly because the job here is, first of all, was to make sure we weren't relegated, and we're bringing in lots of new players and lots of things which had to be done during the summer. So I've not had as much time. But also, I think during the difficult times, I think we sold a lot of the main players here, the young players, which I'm guessing the supporters all know. They'll know that was the situation, what happened, and a lot of the better young boys were sold on. So, from what I'm hearing and the feedback I'm getting is they're doing okay. Maybe need to do a bit more before they're ready for the first team.
Is it sort of disappointing for you, I guess, because when you were here the first time, the academy here was well known across football, wasn't it? It's producing this talent, and it was such a shame what has had to happen. Absolutely.
I was amazed when I came back to find that what had to be done actually, but it had to be done for the club. And so it's going to take quite a while for us to get it back to where we really would like it to be. Our priority, if I'm being honest, wasn't the academy when we came in. Our priority was the team and keeping the club in the Premier League. But now we're beginning to start a bit of work behind the scenes and hopefully going to start to rebuild. But to build an academy, you're really talking about where you're starting. You're bringing in the kids at 6 and 7 years old, really, and there's other ways you can buy them, maybe 16, 17 years old, but I don't think we'll be in that position where we're ready to do that. But I'll always encourage, if there's any boys who I think are good enough and are doing well enough, then I'll bring them up. But also, there's a big step to being a Premier League player.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Any further questions in the open section before we move on? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.